Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching the earwax removal compilation video today. As you can see, I'm not on the screen again because I'm still working in our other clinic for today. Things should be back to normal Wednesday, Friday this week though, so bear with us on that one. You can see this patient's come through with this very sticky, almost treacly type earwax. Very, very soft. Always a difficult one to remove, this one. You can see just the consistency of it. It just blocks the suction really easily. So the Jobson Horne's going to come into play here. I think the Jobson Horne makes quite a few appearances in today's videos. So you can see we're just clipping off the front end here. Now, some people have used seen me use a scoop as well. We've done that. We've used infant scoops and some other sort of wax or Sarah scoops. With this one, because there wasn't much of a gap above the wax, I chose to go in with the Jobson Horne rather than the scoop. The reason being, the scoop is quite wide, so when you try and go in, it just would have pushed that further in. But that's come away as a really nice, big, thick blob there. If you look now, you'll see there's a colour difference. See, it's much, much darker towards the back end of this wax. So I'm trying to sneak over the back end here and draw this forwards. That darker wax is older wax. It's been in there a little bit longer. It's just oxidized a little bit more with the air, and sometimes it dries out a little bit, so you will get these much harder, darker pieces in there as well. But doing really well. This Jobson Horne's really getting through this. Just going to take away this front end here. As you can tell, guys, I'm still a little bit bunged up with a cold this week. Fingers crossed I'll be back to normal on Wednesday. But it's coming away really well. I'm just sort of scraping away a little bit here right at the entrance. There we go. I'm trying to remember to show you guys what comes out of the ear as well as we're doing it. And you can see this much, much harder piece. Now, I always find personally to get behind that, you're going to have to work really close to the eardrum. So I always like to pop a lot of olive oil on top of it and use suction then just to lift this last piece and bring that forwards towards the front of the ear canal. You minimize any risk then when you're putting this over of accidentally touching the eardrum or scraping along the skin deeper in, which can be really sensitive. That's just personal preference from my point of view. I find my patients respond a lot better when we do it that way. So we're just going to use this suction to unstick this last piece of wax. Now this piece of wax is actually a little bit harder as well, so you can see as we bring this forward is this kind of upside down U shape, N shape. Easy way of describing it. And then as we draw this out, you can see it's just got a little bit stuck here right at the entrance of the canal, so a little bit of wiggling needed to get this around the corner just to turn it so we get this piece of wax, get the front end out, and then we'll kind of just work it around the corner. You can see it's a little bit harder. See how the wax is the suction tube is actually sticking and sliding across that top portion of the wax there. Pop back in now with the Jobson. This is great for this last little bit, and out that comes. Whoops, just flicked off the top of it. Just roll this down. There we go. It's fallen into the bowl of the ear. So we'll show you this now. See if we can pick it up with the Jobson. I couldn't quite get it with the Jobson, so we're going to pick this up with the suction tube. There we go. Very, very dark piece, much harder section deeper in that canal that was. So let's take a look behind that. Eardrum's looking good. There's a little bit of a, just above the tip of the hammer bone there, you'll see a little sort of, almost a little pocket. There's a little bit of a retraction pocket just at the top. Always worth checking those just to make sure they're nice and clear and clean. You don't really want any skin or wax debris getting caught in there. Sometimes it can lead to other sort of conditions like cholesteatomas and things like that. So always worth just a quick check of that. Just make sure it looks nice and healthy. Eardrum, yep, looking good. Lack of a light reflex there, but this time of year, light reflexes do tend to disappear just because people get colds and they're a little bit congested, as I am, and it does make those kind of, the eardrum doesn't always don't always sit in the normal position then. So this is the patient's other ear. You can see much lighter material here at the front, but you can just see a little bit of darker material just over the top of that. So we'll get rid of this section here at the front. Jobson Horne's cutting through that really, really well. Oh, little random hair there just in front of the camera. So you can see this very, very treacly type earwax. Then you've got this much, much darker section there. You can see a little bit further in. I'm just looking to see how much of a gap there is there, but we'll pop the olive oil in, same as before now, easiest way to do it. Pop the olive oil in, then lift this whole section. Now we've taken that stickier piece away from the top. We'll try and spin this then in the ear canal, so you can see I'm lifting, bottom's now detached, left hand side is still a little bit stuck there. Let's take that adhesion away, a little bit of dry skin holding on to it. Let's break that. I'm trying to. There we go. So that's broken now. So this piece of wax is now quite free in the ear canal. Let's just nip over the top. There we go. Just push him forwards a little bit. There we are. So by detaching it from the canal wall first, we draw this harder section forwards. Much easier and safer to get over the top then with the Jobson horn. And there we go. Out that pops. Are we going to be able to pick this out? No, I had to use suction to pick this one up as well. Sometimes the wax gets so hard you can't actually push the Jobson horn to lift it up. So there's the eardrum on that side as well. Not so much of a retraction pocket you can see there. So all looking clear. This is what we moved to a 3.5 centimeters. Just should I be really specific? That is 1 3/8 inches. Of anyone's money, that is. But you can see the color differences. The two very end pieces, top and bottom there, much darker. They're the harder pieces we took away. Those central 3 pieces there are the the softer wax at the front of the ear canal, sorry. So that came away really nicely. This patient, very, very blocked up. Look at that piece of wax in there. It's really a chunky bit of wax. No obvious gaps there. Just probed it a little bit and I could see it's quite tough. So straight in with a Jobson horn on this one. I told you to make quite a few appearances today. So we're just going over the front end of this wax. Pull down and forwards. I'll have to drop the camera back so we don't crash into the camera. There we go. And then rolling that out to the ear canal. There we go. You'll see this very, very sticky piece of wax here as well. A lot of sticky waxes coming through at the moment. Oh, we're still going, and we're still going, and we're still going. There you go. So you see quite a long tail attached to that front end of the wax there. Almost look like a little bit of dry skin to me coming away, which wouldn't surprise me with this drier type wax, but goodness me, it goes in a fair way here as well. So let's just bring the Jobson horn down on top of that. Let's see if we can roll this. Is it going to roll? It's gone quite sticky there. I'm going to push against the left-hand canal wall, see if we can draw that harder piece out with it. But it's just sort of unraveled almost out to the ear canal, this piece. Let's lift this up. There we go. Oh, it's still going. There we are. So you can see quite a long piece there as well. Oh, and a little bit of dry skin we can just see there. Let's see if we can detach that. Pressing down with the Jobson horn here just to nip that little bit of dry skin away. I'll lift this up into view. Gosh, that's another quite a big piece. So this ear canal pretty full here. Let's go along that left side of the canal wall. You can see it always get a little bit sticking and hiding there. It looked to me like there was another little piece behind that, unless it came up with attached to the end of this one. But it did look like there was a little piece there you go. You can just see it there a bit further in. Let's pull this one forwards. There we go. You can see quite dense cilia there as well on the outer part of the ear canal. And draw this little bit of dry skin down. There we are. Oh my goodness, we're still going. Just to let you know, guys, that the reason I'm doing this particular type of video with just the voiceover without me on it is I don't have all the equipment in our other clinic, and I'm going to be split between the two of them over the next couple of months, I'd imagine. So we may end up getting a mixture of me in front of the camera and this type of video as well, which is always good. Everyone's nice to have a bit of a change every so often. So you could see that ear canal there, and the eardrum was looking really, really healthy. This is the patient's other ear, so very similar story here as well. So a lot of the time, if you've had to go in with a Jobson horn on one here, the majority of the time it's going to be very similar in the other side. So we'll go straight in with a Jobson horn here. Let's see if we can get over that little gap there. We may be able to drop in behind that wax. Yeah, not quite. Just more scraped along the surface of the wax there. Didn't quite get behind it. So let's go. Oh, let's get you out of the way. Let's see if we can get behind. Yes, there we go. So we've managed to get behind. Let's see if we can roll this whole thing. If it's not too soft, the whole thing will slide forwards here. If it's a bit too sticky, I think I just saw a little bit hanging back there. So I think it might just be a little bit too soft. There we go. That's that block come away there. I think there's a little bit still, well, not a little bit. I think there's quite a bit still stuck to the base of the canal. Yeah. Difficult to see because it's quite the cilia here are quite dense. So what you'll see me doing here is rather than drop behind, I'm just touching the top of the wax and pushing it down and forward. That gives me a bit more clearance behind to get the Jobson horn in. There we go. Ooh, nice chunky bit of wax, that one. There we are. Oh, fell off. Can I pick this up? Gosh, that's tough as old boots. Let's pick this up with the suction tube. Oh, sorry, I missed the bit where I picked that up with the suction tube. There we are. So we've got a little bit there coming away. Let's see if we can lift this bottom section now. Working right at the entrance to the canal here. How stuck is this? Very, very sticky. There we are. Just giving it a bit of a wiggle. There we go. So that was quite a thin plate of wax that was stuck to the very base of the canal here. And then just tidy that little bit up there. You're going to come away. Gosh, lots of little tiny little flaky bits there as well. Oh, a little bit stuck to this right hand. Look at that bit stuck to the right hand side. Not unusual when you take these out to get a little bit stuck around corners just at the entrance to the canal. Are you going to come away easily here? Looks like there's a bit more further in as well. Ah, it's an awkward angle to get to, that one. Right, let's go back in now. Let's do Jobson Horne. Let's see if we can sneak behind this piece to the right side. So you can see I'm kind of tucking behind it and pulling downwards. There we are. Gosh, it just kind of unravels. It looks more like a lot of dry skin here. This long strip at the base of the canal. I'm trying to sort of scoop almost underneath it. Oh, unlucky. There we are. So that just came away. It almost came away completely. But you can see that very thin, dry skin layer, which is what makes this really tough. And can we get this bottom section away? It's this mess. This type of wax where it gets this really crumbly, sticky nature, just really messy wax to try and remove. And suction is not. Oh wow! Oh my goodness, that was a big piece came away then. I think we just managed to get everything away in one go. There was obviously a very long, thin strip of wax going much further back into the ear canal. Look at that! Wow, that was a good piece. Really good one, that one. And let's take a look in here. Let's tidy up these little bits, these really annoying bits at the entrance. What have we got here? A little dry bit of skin. Whoop, there we go. Perfect. Eardrum looking really good. There was a nice light reflex there as well. Oh wow. So this is 5 centimeters. I have done this, guys. I promise this is my work. It says I did it last week and I can't remember it. So you've got inch and should I be really specific again? Inch and 7/8. 5 centimeters worth of wax. There's a fair old amount of wax in both those ears. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did voicing it over. You will see me again appearing on the videos on Wednesday and Friday this week. I'm trying to do a normal week this week, and as always guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye everyone.